Well, welcome back. One of the things that now is becoming quite noticeable and alarming is the liberal bias with the big tech companies. And just how will this play out, especially going into the 2020 election cycle? Well, Arie Brish is with us today. He's a cyber tech expert, business strategist, and author of Lay an Egg and Make Chicken Soup. What a great title. Holistic innovation process from concept to market expansion. He's also CEO and founder of CXO360. So there's a lot there. Check out his website, CXO360.net. All right, and there's a picture of the book. Very good to see you. How are you, friend?
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Good to see you. All right. Big tech liberal bias. Is it real?
It's hard to make such a generalization, but we definitely see signs of, for example, Twitter will judge or censorship certain kinds of statements, and the general feeling is that they are biased towards the left side and censoring statements that are on the right side. So it's a gut feel. It's something that cannot be proven. The CEO of Twitter made some statements few weeks ago acknowledging that part, but he covered it as something that they have to police the communication on the network, things like, I don't know, profanity or pornography or violence, things like that. But when you ask people where were they filtered out, my gut feel is most cases they were filtered out if they wore a Trump T-shirt and not if they wore a Hillary Clinton T-shirt.
Okay, so it would seem to me that with those that they have censored, I mean, they've censored just about anything and anybody that's conservative except for the president. I would assume Twitter is going to leave the president alone. He got 100 million followers. But on the other hand, we've seen people of faith censored. We've seen conservatives censored. We've seen statements taken down. Isn't that a bias?
Yeah, definitely a bias. And when if you listen to that interview with a Twitter CEO, one other way he tried to distance himself is the artificial intelligence algorithm. And I talk about it a little bit in my book, looking out in the future of the 21st century, because the technology today allows you to program the artificial intelligence algorithm in certain ways. And if they program their artificial intelligence censorship in a biased way, that's alarming, definitely. But if you take it to the next step, like in my book, I talk about artificial intelligence judge, for example. You have the technology today to feed an artificial intelligence engine with cases at court and have the computer decide what the outcome of the case is. Same thing with the politics. We have the technology, or very close to have the technology, that the president can be an artificial intelligence robot. Think about that.
Well, all right. So if the high-tech companies or the big tech companies are building algorithms to develop further artificial intelligence, then mining is everything. But if they narrow what's being said, then they're pre-programming their artificial intelligence to do what they want it to do, right?
Correct. So there is another issue here, and that has to do with the employees of the company. So part of the censorship is done by humans. I don't know exactly how it works. Different companies work differently, but let's assume it's a mix of human judgment and artificial intelligence judgment.
Yeah.
So on the artificial intelligence we just covered, on the human side, if you see that they are biased in a certain way, it's one of two options: either that they are biased in hiring people, which is dangerous by itself. So they hire only Democrats. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Totally not.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's kind of, I don't know how legal it is in certain states, but you cannot filter out candidates based on their political views. That's definitely illegal in most cases, I think.
On the other hand, people need to understand that these are high-tech companies, they're privately owned, and they're really not subject to First Amendment rights. They can control content. That's part of them owning the company. But there is some hypocrisy here. You can see where Twitter will allow the anti-Semitism of Louis Farrakhan be distributed throughout, but they'll take a Franklin Graham and boot him off.
Right. So they, as a private business owner, you can do whatever you want in a business, but a large company like Twitter, I look at them as, can you imagine AT&T, for example, cut off my telephone line because I said something on the telephone? Or can you imagine General Motors not selling me cars because I'm a conservative and not a liberal person? That's totally unheard of. So Twitter probably think that they are still a small business with no obligation to the public.
Yeah.
But they are significantly enough to have some obligation to be completely unbiased, and right now they don't do that.
Arie, how do you see this going into the 2020 election cycle? I mean, this is going to be a big issue, getting campaign rhetoric out. What do you see the big tech companies doing during the next 2020 election cycle?
That's hard to tell, because all candidates from both sides of the aisle are using Twitter now very heavily. So if they favor one type of political views, that's I don't even want to think about it. That means we need to have a Republican Twitter and a Democrat Twitter, or Republican Facebook or a Democrat Facebook. And my Facebook, my personal Facebook is all over the map. I have friends from all sides of the aisles, and I entertain myself by reading, what each one is posting.
Okay.
But I don't see them. They are such a dominant force, almost like AT&T was 50 years ago.
There is a big difference between censorship and mining for information, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so we're talking censorship, but really what some of these big tech companies have been pulled on the carpet for is mining information and selling it. But it didn't go anywhere.
Well, different companies have different business models as far as mining the information, as long as they don't violate the privacy of the individuals. So when they say they mine information and sell it, in most cases, they talk the big picture. So they will sell the fact that 27.5% think one way and 37% think the other way. But they don't sell anybody that I'm thinking one way and you're thinking a different way. That's a totally violation of our privacy.
All right, interesting. So what do you want people to get from your book, Lay an Egg and Make Chicken Soup?
So the choice of the name, in many cases, when you start a business or when you launch a new product, there is always a chicken and an egg question. So I took that metaphor and took it to the next step and do a chicken soup. But the focus of the book is on the execution, and it also comes back to politics as well. It works in all aspects of life. You can have a great idea, but it will stay a great idea on paper if you don't execute well. So most books about new products focus on how to come up with a new idea, but very little focusing on the execution. 80% of my book, or 20% of my book, is about how to come up with a new idea and how to fund a new idea. 80% is how to execute, so the new idea will make money for the investors and the owners of the business.
Okay, good stuff. All right. Let me say to our viewers, it's called Lay an Egg and Make Chicken Soup. And Arie's website is CXO360, CXO360.net. Check it out.
CXO360.net.
Yep, got it. All right, thanks, Arie. Stay in touch.
Thanks for having me.
All right, see you later.
Bye-bye.